Howdy folks, Cal Ditmar, Trapping Fool out here, bringing you an episode of fishing lines. I gotta respool a catfish rod here, or reel, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys how to do a reel. Put a new line on. A couple things here. I use bait casters mainly anymore, so whatever kind of bait caster you like. This is the ones I run here. This is a Record 60. When you do these, some people use braid or some of the newer stuff out there, Power Pro. There's some kind of tough line tension lock technology. When you use these kind of lines, you need to put a backer on these reels first. And what I mean by a backer is a 20-pound or 30-pound monofilament. You'll want to start with that, and you'll just do, I don't know, 10 yards or so is all you really need on it to lock it down, and then you connect that line to that, and then you can put it on. If you don't do that, what happens is when your line dries, when it gets wet or gets on there, gets wet then dries, it loosens up, and when you go to crank, there's going to be nothing there. It's just loose line on the spool. Nothing locks up. So something to keep in mind there. I'm actually putting monofilament on this one. I'm going to run a 30 pounds for channel cats. It's going to be my smaller rod for channel cats and stuff. I'll get turned around here, set up on my table, and show you what I got going on. I'll explain everything as I'm going here, so let's get set up here on my table. Hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit here. Alright, what I got going on here is, if you see, I got my monofilament actually in a bowl of water here. This is a trick I learned from an old timer when I was fishing bass tournaments years and years ago. I always had problems with monofilament. It's got a memory in it, and it'll all be like a slinky, if you will, when it come off the spool. Old timer told me you need to soak your line in water for at least 24 hours. This has been soaking about 2 days now, but it's just tap water, warm water, set it on the counter, let it soak for a couple days. What it does is it actually shrinks the line a little bit. So if you've got like a 10 or 12 pound line that you were running, 20 pound, it'll shrink it down a couple diameters so it's even thinner. Still the same strength, and it also gets rid of that memory that it has for wanting to remember to be a slinky all the time. So since then I've soaked all my monofilament. Something to try out for yourself. Now if I can get this off of here. There we go. Anyways, what I got here is, got the rod here. This is not my rod that I'm going to use. I'm just using it as a blank to use the reel here. Got another container right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the water in there, and you'll find out in a minute. When you're doing line on bait casters, I'll show you in a minute. This way. We'll get this lined up first. Then I'll show you what I'm going to say. Be easier. I like using a rod when I spool up here. It's just easier for holding on to. When you're using this big a braid or line, use snips. My teeth are about shot from cutting line with my teeth for so many years. Alright, if you see, I've got it. Got to wrap it all the way around here. Sometimes 3 or 4 hands would be handy. Alright. Now you can see this is the main line going out to the spool here on this side. This is the tag end. This is the part that comes around and comes to this end here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do, it's hard to do this backwards, but go around the line here twice is what I do. I don't know if you can see that. I got it going around twice, and then I'll come up through the bottom here. It's just 2 overhand, well, 2 wraps, then come up from the bottom. Can you see that there? Wet the line and pull it tight. trim off the tag end pretty close there. What that did, what I just did, is I made a slip knot. So when I pull on this here, it should wrap right on down. Now, right here, what I'm looking at, see the bottom spot here and the reel face there, the line guide? I want them to be about lined up when I start. And never fails, always loosens on me. Gotta redo that. So, two wraps around, 1, 2, come up through the bottom, pull it tight. Trim it off. Get these lined up. Snugging that down. Now you see how I've got them in line here. Now the line, when you reel here, you'll see that it comes off the top. It's coming this way on the top of the spool here. So when you do these kind of bait casters, you'll want to set it up. That's what I have this bowl here for now, to do it by myself. Remember, it was coming off the top of the reel there. It has to come off the bottom of the spool. See how it's coming off the top here? We got to come off this way. You get back in the camera here. Sorry about that. It's coming off the bottom of the spool here now. You don't want it to come off the top this way if you were putting it on. You want it to come off the bottom here. Make sense? See what I'm talking about? It's coming off the bottom here instead of coming off the top. Because what would happen is you're twisting. It's not doing a back wrap. So this way is how you want to come on. Put it on the spool. What I've got this bowl of water for then is I put it in here so it's coming off the bottom. Then I keep some tension on the spool on the line here, and it comes right off the bottom, and we'll fill this puppy up. Now when you do spinning rods, spinning reels, it's a little bit different, which I'll do a separate one on that here later on. I just want to get this one done today. So keep watching in my videos for it. So you can see how the line's coming off the bottom there. Coming off the bottom of the spool, coming over the top of the reel here. Comes in and goes this way. That is very important, especially when you get to spinning reels, which is a little bit different because the spool doesn't stand up like this. Let this baby go up. Now on these you can actually see the spool here. Right here is the spool. And let me get it turned the right way here. The spool is here. You see it spinning in there? You want to fill almost, usually within a hair of that is what I do. Sometimes I'll go a little bit over, but not too much. Let's see here. Alright, that's about as far as I want to go now. You can see how I filled up to the spool, the part that's moving in there. See that? That's about as far as I want to go now. Now, trim the line off. and we're good to go. Now for storing these, what I'll do, because I don't have a, I'm not putting it on a rod just yet, do an overhand knot like so, double it up, double up the line, just do a couple overhand knots, 1 or 2 in there, wrap it a couple times, pull it tight. So what you end up with is a loop here. End up with a loop. Then I'll take it off the rod that I used. And you put this loop right over your handle, like so, and reel it in. And there she's locked up and she's all ready to go. Ready to go on a rod when I'm ready. So, alright, that's how you do baitcaster reels. I'll do one on spinning reels. Hopefully, maybe in a couple days here I'll get to it. I got one rod that I need to respool there. Its line's getting kind of old and chewed up, so I'll do that one, show how to do a spinning reel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Cal's Outdoors. Check the subscribe button here on the YouTube for me. Follow me so you keep up to date on my new videos. I've also got an outdoor page on Facebook. It's Cal's Outdoors. You can find that by searching Caleb Outdoors 2016. That's C-A-L-L-E-B. So thanks for watching. Until next time, Trap and Fool out.